evening, Shabbat Shalom. Welcome. Today we have, Fiona is my advisor on words in English I don't know. So Fiona, when we have 3 reasons to celebrate, how is that occasion called? So it's a trinity of ecstasy. That's what we have today. So maybe even more. Maybe it's a four times ecstasy. Because first of all, it's Shabbat, of course, but it's also Valentine's Day. And today we're also celebrating Tu B'Shvat, which was yesterday, but we'll do a short Tu B'Shvat Seder at the Bracha today. And we're also celebrating Tamsis Bat Mitzvah. We'll more broadly celebrate tomorrow, but today is just a taste of it. So with all of these reasons to celebrate, so we have many more reasons. This weekend we also read what I call the 10 sayings, or the 10 affirmations, and people usually call the 10 commandments. So we have many, many reasons to celebrate, and I'm sure that each one of you brings tonight your own reasons, and maybe when we greet each other in a few minutes, we can tell at least one reason to celebrate. I'm going to break protocol here. This is a progressive synagogue egalitarian. So here in my script, in my schedule, it tells me to call Lauren and Tamsin to light the candles, but I will expand the invitation, and I also want to call Jason and Cameron. This is an egalitarian congregation. There's no reason for only the women to light the candles. So the 4 of you, please come to the bima. Amen. Mazal Tov, Shabbat Shalom. Mazal Tov, Mazal Tov, Shabbat Shalom. So we'll start with the traditional Psalms for Kabbalat Shabbat. So they start on page 130, and I promise you today that we would start a new tradition. But I would copy a tradition from my old community in Tel Aviv, Beit Daniel, in which we would just read the first sentence of Psalm 96 on page 131. That says, Shirul Adonai Shir Chadash, and which means sing a song to God, a new song. And last week I proposed for this community to send me poems, maybe things that you yourselves wrote, or poems that you think are appropriate for Shabbat, and to email them to me. So Fiona accepted the challenge, so I want to call Fiona. And here's the poem that she sent me.
This particular poem was written by an American lady by the name of Jessie Samter, and it goes as follows. The Sabbath light is burning bright, our prettiest cloth is clean and white. With wine and bread for Friday night, at set of sun, our work is done. The happy Shabbat has begun. Now bless us, Father, everyone. O Sabbath guest, dear Sabbath guest, come share the blessing with the rest. for all our house tonight is blessed.
Yeshu koach, Shabbat shalom. We'll continue reading in English from page 90, it's the Psalm 97, page 133 at the top of the page. Read with me, please, on the indented part. So I'll read the first paragraph, the first stanza, and you read the following. The Eternal One is sovereign. Let the earth exult, the many islands rejoice. Dense clouds are around God. Righteousness and justice are the base of God's throne. Your turn. O you who love God, hate evil. God, guard the lives of your loyal ones, saving them from the hand of the wicked. Light is sown for the righteous, radiance for the upright. O you righteous, rejoice in the eternal, and acclaim God's holy name. We continue on page 133 with, right, on Psalm 98. Am I wrong? Is it page 133? Zamrul Adonai Bechinor. Yes? Okay. So we're on page 133 in the Hebrew section. Oh, no, we are actually on page 100, it's Psalm 98, but it's page 134, the third line from the top down in Hebrew. We continue with Lecha Dodi and just a few comments about Lecha Dodi. In my sermon, I will talk a bit about the idea of the Shabbat as a bride that we welcome at the end of Lecha Dodi. But I wanted to call your attention to another part. On the first stanza, it says, Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad. So you should keep and you should remember in one utterance. So what is this referring to? Twice in the Torah, we read about the 10 commandments, the 10 utterances. And once in the book of Shmot, in Parashat Yitro, what we will read tomorrow morning here at services, you're all welcome to come. And the other one is in the book of Dvarim, Deuteronomy. Now, the book of Dvarim is basically a sequence of long speeches, of farewell speeches that Moshe gives to the people. And in these speeches, he reminds he reminds the people of the things that happened in the 40 years in the desert. So many episodes in the Torah, they're told twice, one when they happen, and one when Moshe remembers them in his speeches. Now, when he remembers them, as it's often the case with their memory, he doesn't remember them exactly as they were told the first time. So the same thing happens with the Ten Commandments, and especially in the fourth commandment, that is the commandment to keep the Shabbat. Once it's told, Shamor et Yom HaShabbat vekochechu, remember the day of Shabbat and keep it. And the other time it's called Zachor et Yom HaShabbat vekochechu. One is keep the Yom HaShabbat and sanctify it. And the other time it's called remember the day of Shabbat and sanctify it. So the rabbis asked, what was it? What did God say? Did God say remember, or did God say keep? And then this is why it says here. So the Midrash comment says, God said one thing, and it was keep and remember kind of at the same time, and people heard different things. So that is why in the Lechadodi it says, Shamor ve'zachor b'dibur echad. So God said one thing, but people heard in different ways. And tomorrow at the service, so today at the sermon I will talk a bit about it, and tomorrow we will also keep talking about these possibilities. So on page 138, Lechadodi.
Lechadodi likrat kala yala Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala yala Shabbat nekabela. Shamor ve'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmihanu el ha'meyuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, L'shemo tiferet ve'litila. Lechadodi likrat kala yala Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala yala Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lekuven elcha, ki makor habaracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof maaseh b'machshavat tchila. Lechadodi likrat kala yala Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala yala Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri kiva orech komi ori shida beri kavod Adonai alaik nigla. Lechadodi likrat kala yala Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala yala Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'v'tzola, toch emonei am segula. Boi chala, Lechadodi likrat kala yala Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala yala Shabbat nekabela. La 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 la
So now it's a time for this lovely tradition of Beit David. So now is the time when you guys walk around and greet the people that you know and the people that you were meeting just now. And my invitation is for you to share one reason that you have to celebrate today. You may sit so we can resume the service. So we are on page 141 in the Hebrew text, and I read, Adonai malach geut lavesh, lavesh Adonai ozet azar, av tikon tevel baltimot, nachon kesachar meaz, meolam atam, nasu ne'arot Adonai, nasu ne'arot kolam, יסעו נהרות דוח ים, מקולות מים רבים, אדירים, משברי ים, אדיר במרום אדוני. עדותיך נמנו מאוד, לביתך נבע קודש, אדוני לאורך ימים. We continue with Mikolot. Do we have a page number? Oh, it was part here. Mikolot. So still on page 141, on the 1, 2, 3, on the 6th line in Hebrew, from bottom up. Mikolot Maim Rabim.
Mikolot Maim, Maim Rabim, Adirim, Adirim, Mishperei Yam. Mikolot Maim, Maim Rabim, Adirim, Adirim, Mishperei Yam. Zai, 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 Adim Amarom Adonai, 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 Adim Amarom Adonai.
We go to page 144 and the Chitzi Kaddish to conclude this first section of the service, Kabbalat Shabbat, as we start the next section, Arvit. I'll ask you all to rise. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבם, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיים. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו. לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. Page 146, ברכו. You may be seated. We continue on page 148. We turn to page 151 of the second half of the page, and we read together, wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch Ata Adonai, Ohev Amo Israel. I invite you all to stand again for the Shema on page 152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
אהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך. וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת לכם, ועשו לכם ציצית על כנפי בגריכם לדרותם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף טיל תכלת. והיה לכם לציצית, וראיתם אותו, זכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם. ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זונים אחריכם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. You may be seated. We turn to page 158 and Mi Chamocha.
Ya pa pa bim bim bom, ya pa pa
ונאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. We continue on page 160, the bottom half of the page in English. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our sovereign, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Baruch ata Adonai, apures sukat shalom, aleinu vel kol amo Israel, vel kol Yerushalayim, vel kol haolam, venomar Amen. Page 160.
ישמחו במלאכותך, שומרי שבת, וקוראי גולי שבת. ישמחו במלאכותך, ישמחו במלאכותך, שומרי שבת, וקוראי גולי שבת. המקדשי שבי, המקדשי שבי, כולם יספרו ויתענגו בתאהבך, ישמחו במלאכותך, ישמחו במלאכותך, שומרי שבת, וקוראי גולי שבת. רצית בו וקידשתו שבת, חמדת ימים, חמדת ימים אותו קראת, חמדת ימים אותו קראת, תוקרת שבת. זכר מעשה בראשית, זכר מעשה בראשית שבת. ישמחו במלאכותך, ישמחו במלאכותך, שומרי שבת, וקוראו לגולי שבת.
So as I mentioned before, the theme of what I'm saying of my sermons this weekend is our Shabbat practices and what Shabbat can mean. For those who read the short article that comments on the parsha that went with the Adkan, Ismechu, the text, is totally aligned with what I wrote. The text says, those who keep Shabbat by calling it a delight will rejoice in your realm. The people that hallow Shabbat will delight in your goodness. For being pleased with the seventh day, you hallowed it as the most precious of days, drawing our attention to the word of creation. Those who keep Shabbat by calling it a delight. Let's try to make every Shabbat a delight. So we now turn to page 164, and before you stand, 164 is the very beginning of the Amidah. Amidah is the core, is the central prayer of the Jewish tradition. And it is understood as a moment in which we have the opportunity of talking to God directly, one-on-one. So the tradition is that we are entering the divine chambers, God's divine chambers. So the way we do this, we stand, and I know it's harder where you were standing because there's not a lot of space, but we take 3 steps backwards just for to create the space so that we can take 3 steps forwards, as if we were actually entering the divine chambers, for us to have that feeling that now we are in this room in which God's presence resides, and we can have that connection one-on-one. So now please rise on page 164, the beginning of the Amidah. שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומר חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואמהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבם. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה, רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השם ומוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיים, ממית ומחיים, ומצמיח ישועה. אוי מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיים, ממית ומחיים, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. You were holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. On page 172. אתה קדשת יום השביעי לשמך, תכלית מעשה שמיים וארץ, וברכתו מכל הימים, וקדשתו מכל הזמנים, וכן כתוב בתורתך. ויחול השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with your rest, sanctify us with your mitzvot, and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness, and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, eternal our God, grant as our heritage your holy Shabbat, that Israel, who sanctifies your name, may rest on it. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Find favor, eternal our God, with your people Israel, and accept their prayer in love. May the worship of your people Israel always be acceptable, God. Always be acceptable. God, who is near to all who call, turn lovingly to your servants. Pour out your spirit upon us. Let our eyes behold your loving return to Zion. Baruch atah Adonai, hamachazir shchinato leTzion. Page 178. Grant abundant peace to Israel, your people, forever. For you are the sovereign God of all peace. May it be pleasing to you to bless your people Israel in every season and moment with your peace. Baruch atah Adonai, amevarech et amo Israel b'shalom. Now it's the moment for the silent meditation. I'll just introduce it with a poem on page 181. We reach for you, our God, from our quiet places. May we stand still for a brief moment and listen to the rain. Stand still for a brief moment and watch the play of sunlight and shadow on the leaves. For a brief moment, listen to the world. Let us stop the wheels of every day to be aware of Shabbat. Find the stillness of the sanctuary which the souls cherished. Renew the covenant of an ancient people. We need a quiet space to test the balance of our days, the weight of our own needs, of our own deeds, the weight of our own deeds against the heaviness of the world's demands. The balance is precarious. Steady us with faith. Quiet places and stillness where we will hear our own best impulses speak. Quiet places and stillness from which we will reach out to each other. We will find strength in silence, and with this strength, we will turn again to your service.
Count me in.
Shabbat Shalom. Upon establishing creation in the opening chapters of Bereshit, God created light and darkness, the land, the seas, and the sky, the sun, the moon, and the stars, and so on, until on the sixth day, humanity was created in the divine image. Light and darkness define the day. The sun and the moon determine the years and months, and they all existed before the sixth day. Before the sixth day when humanity was created. Shabbat, however, only has meaning after the creation of the first man and the first woman, who were able to follow the divine example, cease all labor on the seventh day and rests. In this very same story, the seventh day, Shabbat, is the first of God's creations to be blessed. Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel expressed this concept by stating that while other cultures value space and sanctify it, Judaism sanctifies time. Shabbat, he explained, is the clearest example of the Jewish concern with sacred time, a cathedral in time. Judaism is a religion of time aiming at the sanctification of time, he wrote. Unlike the space-minded man to whom time is unvaried, iterative, homogeneous, to whom all hours are alike, qualityless, empty shells, the Bible senses the diversified character of time. There are no 2 hours alike. Every hour is unique and the only one given at the moment, exclusive and endlessly precious. Still, in Rabbi Heschel's words, Judaism teaches us to be attached to holiness and time, to be attached to sacred events, to learn how to consecrate sanctuaries that emerge from the magnificent stream of a year. The Shabbatot are our greatest cathedrals. Paradoxically, the construction of these cathedrals in times, or palaces in time, as he calls in other places, of which Heschel speaks, does not involve any physical building process, but rather a willingness to experience the 25 hours of Shabbat in a radically different way. What makes Shabbat such a precious day? We can turn to the way the Decalogue, the 10 statements, justifies the observance of Shabbat to begin answering this question. Although Shabbat appears in the 4th commandment in the book of Exodus and in the book of Deuteronomy, the wording differs in each text, as we talked earlier. In Exodus, in this week's Parsha, we are instructed to remember Shabbat and sanctify it. Zachor et Yom HaShabbat lekodsho. Because God completed creation on the 7th day, rested and blessed it. Implicit in the explanation that our day of rest is linked to divine rest is the idea that humanity, created in God's image, should strive, where possible, to follow divine example in shaping its own behavior. In Deuteronomy, the text instructs us to observe Shabbat and sanctify it, because we were once servants in the land of Egypt, and God brought us out with a strong hand and an outstretched arm. In this formulation, it is our freedom that grants us the ability to celebrate Shabbat autonomously. On Shabbat, then, we celebrate both our humanity and our freedom. It is a day in which the emphasis is placed on who we are rather than what we produce. We take the opportunity to rest and nourish our souls, living for a day in the illusion of a perfect world. Rabbinic tradition teaches that Shabbat is a foretaste of the world to come, a time when all our problems will be resolved. This is why walking on Shabbat may take on a different pace, and conversations may follow a different rhythm, one in which we truly listen to each other as though we had all the time in the world for that person. The Shabbat liturgy reflects these perspectives. On Friday evening, the additional Kabbalat Shabbat service precedes Arvit, the traditional evening prayer, developed by the mystics in the 16th century Tzfat. The Kabbalat Shabbat liturgy is composed of psalms and piyutim, which are liturgical poems that reference the 6 days of creation, leading to the rest of Shabbat. Lechadodi, one of our most well-known piyutim, can be interpreted on many levels as is typical of mystical literature. On its most concrete level, it is a love poem to Shabbat, treated as a bride, whom we welcome with affection and devotion. The verb used in the 4th commandment to sanctify Shabbat, lekadesh, is the same as the one used when a groom consecrates a bride in marriage, giving rise to this analogy with a wedding. A midrash tells that during creation, each day of the week was paired with its partner. So Sunday with Monday, Tuesday with Wednesday, Thursday with Friday, but Shabbat was left alone. When Shabbat complained to God, it was given the people of Israel as its partner. This is why we are instructed to sanctify or to marry Shabbat each week. Elsewhere in the service, such as in the Amidah, we remove the sections in which we make requests of God, aligning with the view that Shabbat is a day when we live in a perfect world, one in which we have nothing left to ask for. Another Midrash already recognized the challenge this presents and instead suggests that we live as if the world were perfect and all our work was complete. While it may not be possible to fix all the world's problems in 6 days, Shabbat at least offers us inspiration, allowing us to experience for a few hours a world without problems. When Shabbat ends, we return to the rhythm of the week, motivated by the alternative reality we have glimpsed. As Shabbat draws to a close, we bid it farewell through the Havdalah ritual, seeking comfort in its light, its wine, and its delightful aromas. The 6 days of creation are a necessity of our physical world. Without them, Shabbat would not be possible. But Jewish tradition has long sought to bring elements of Shabbat into the rest of the week, sanctifying our experiences at every moment. How can we make our relationships throughout the week as genuine as they are on Shabbat? How can we alter our pace even during the week and open our eyes to the beauty of the ongoing process of creation? How can we reframe our actions in the world, recognizing our humanity and freedom during the 6 days as well? The liturgical poet Marcia Falk reflected on the search for balance between the demands of the week and the rest of Shabbat in her poem for Havdalah. Let us distinguish parts within the whole and bless their differences. Like the Shabbat and the 6 days of creation, may our lives be made whole through relation. As rest makes the Shabbat precious, may your work give meaning to the week. Let us separate the Shabbat from other days of the week, seeking holiness in each. May these be our constant efforts, the pursuit of holiness in all moments of our lives. Shabbat has the potential to be a great catalyst in this quest, if we really allow ourselves to fully embrace these 25 hours in which we are matters far more than what we do. Shabbat Shalom. We conclude the service on page 587 with Aleino. I want to invite Jason and Cameron, and it's only fair for me to invite also Lauren and Tamsin, right? Because to open and close the ark. So I said we are on page 587. The top of the page. Please stand.
Latet gedula
I'll do, don't close it yet. I'll do what I did last week. Give me just 1 second for me to find it. We'll say a blessing for healing. So if you have names, start thinking about them, and I'll... Okay. I know where I have it easier. Okay, so we'll take advantage of the open Aron, of the open ark, and the mystical energy of the Torah to ask for healing for people who are in need. So I'll start on this side, and as my hand gets to your position, feel free to say the name or to just keep it in your heart. משברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, אמותינו שרה, רבקה, רחל ולאה, ויברך את כל האלה ששמם נקראו פה היום. הקדוש ברוך הוא יברך אותם ואת כל משפחתם, וישלח ברכה והצלחה בכל מעשה ידיהם, ויחתמום לחיים טובים בזה יום, עם כל בני ישראל לכם, ונאמר אמן. Now we'll... Shabbat shalom. So, page 594, text number 5. Let's read it together. It's a fearful thing to love what death can touch. A fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be, and oh, to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was given to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing, to love what death has touched.
Shabbat from Bet David. We remember Ralph Klippen, father of Ron Klippen, Ingrid Paul, wife of John Paul, Jeff van Flyman, trustee and honorary life treasurer of Bet David, remembered by his daughters Ruth and Debbie and grandchildren, and remembered by the Kupritz and Regali family, Harold Kupritz, Molly Kupritz, Hilton Dennis Kupritz, Stephen Kupritz, Warren Kupritz, Izzy Cohen, Augusta Lillian Rubin, Reginald Nathan Rubin, Jack Mendel Regali, Anne Regali, Gloria Cohen, and Stephen Meyerson. From Bet Menorah in Pretoria, we remember Hubert Adrian Ralph, father of Richard Ralph, and those who passed away recently. Peter Gunston, father of Greer Gunston, Michael Schell, beloved father of our past Rabbi Adrian Schell, husband of Cornelia and father also to Diana Schell, much-loved grandfather and great-grandfather, and father-in-law to Chaim Schell. and Robert Kappa, life partner of Phyllis Seligman and brother of Jill Schneider. And there'll be a memorial service for the late Robert Kappa that will take place here at Bet David on Sunday, the 23rd of February at 3:30 p.m. And everybody is invited. And we also remember Arthur Bowen, brother-in-law of Sheena and Jonathan Kretzmer from Bet David in Durban. If anybody has a name that needs to be called out, please do so now, and we'll start at this side. And the Mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 598. Please do rise, and Rabbi will lead us.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבם, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבם מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיים, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בריחו. לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים טובים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. May sit. Announcements. Thank you to everyone who attended the service both in person and online. A warm welcome to Paul Davis. Where's Paul Davis? So welcome to Paul Davis, who intended, chair of Beit Emmanuel and SUPJ executive member, who intended to come to service but apparently hasn't arrived. We'll also welcome the family and friends of Tamsin Kupritz, who are here on the eve of Tamsin's Bat Mitzvah. Heder with Morad Dayan tomorrow morning, starting at 8:15, when the children will be holding their own Tu B'Shvat Seder. The Community Security Organization, CSO, is offering a 14-week training course for volunteer synagogue security personnel. There's no charge for the course, which begins in March. As synagogues around the world rely on their members to assist with security, we appeal to congregants to contact CSO and take advantage of this offer in order to secure Beit David. Please see the latest Adkan for details. No Shabbat table talk tomorrow morning, as we will be celebrating with the Kupritz and Rogali families and friends, as Tamsin is called to the Torah as Bat Mitzvah. On behalf of all of Beit David, I wish Tamsin and her family Mazal Tov. Please join us for Brocha with the new Tu B'Shvat in the foyer. The Brocha has very kindly been sponsored by the Kupritz family to celebrate their daughter Tamsin's Bat Mitzvah. We conclude the service with the singing of Shalom Aleichem on page 626.
626. Oh, 627. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharet, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharet, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bochem L'Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharet, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. B'choni L'Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom.